All right, what's up, family? I've got another good one for you. Another Donald Goines for you. And this one's called Black Girl Lost. You can get a good view of that there. Called Black Girl Lost. We're going to get into this one. This was another touching one like most of his, right?
Yeah,
All right.
depressing. It starts very depressing.
You're right. You're right. Matter of fact, so let's get right into it.
Yeah.
So the way this book starts off is little black girl. She probably, how old was she? You remember?
She was 8.
All right, look, just imagine this. Just like she
8
said,
years old.
this gonna piss you off, make you mad. It like you be like, no way, man. But anyway, little 8-year-old girl at home, like most nights, there's no food in the house. There's nothing to eat, nothing to drink. The house is a mess. The building where they stay is a mess, and she's starving. And she's a little frail, little skinny little girl, and
You
starving.
literally could see her bones. That's how starved that night she was.
And every day for her is a journey just to get food. That's her main thing every day. Like where I'm gonna eat, what I'm gonna eat, what I'm gonna eat, just every day. So on this particular night, she leaves the house because she's home alone, and she's searching for her mother. So she goes to the local spots where she know her mother normally gets drunk and high, whatever the case. So she went to the bar, wherever her mother was at, and she's afraid to go inside, but she's outside shivering and cold with the raggedy coat she got.
Yeah.
And she's just waiting and hoping her mother comes outside.
But at the same time, she was scared because her mother said, no matter what, you stay home.
Yeah. But
she was starving, and at the
starving.
same time, she's trying to look for her mom to see where can she be because she wants to eat.
Exactly. So now, while she's waiting outside late at night, waiting for her mother because she's starving, everybody that come out of the place, she keep asking, have you seen my mother? My mother. And they just passing her by. And then finally, this one guy says, oh, yeah, your mother ain't in there, girl. Your mother done went up to the other bar down in such and such street. And she like, where that's at? He's like, well, why don't you come on, get in the car with me, and I'll drive you over there. And she's like, I shouldn't get in the car with strangers, but I'm so hungry and I'm cold and I want to see my mother. He said, girl, I'll take you over there. And she's like, I'm so hungry. He's like, look, I'll take you by and get a burger on the way. So now, as soon as he said that, her stomach was like talking, like a burger, I'll get a burger. So she jumps in the car with him. And right away, this drunk man, all he got on his mind is lust.
Sickness.
Sick ass lust. He's looking at this little 8-year-old girl while he's driving. He keeps looking at her and he puts his hand on her lap and she's like, that was sick too. Because when he put his hand on her lap, it didn't bother her because you remember why, right?
Yes, because when her mom had friends over, they used to cuddle her and embrace her and give her that same touch. So she wouldn't have the idea that it was something.
They'd give her like a dime or a quarter or something, and she'd be happy just to they'd touch on her and all that. And they'd be like, here's a quarter, girl. So she was used to that type of attention, which it was not, that was bad.
Yeah.
But she got used to that.
But you know, Bobby, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's really sad that in today's, it's been like that forever. You got kids out there that their parents, that they're so drunk that they don't give. They don't care about their kids. And they have to try to survive or whatever.
Yeah, it might go through something harsh because they don't know how to handle it. Matter of fact, that touched on another one of our videos. It's called Sex Education because it's imperative. Because I touched on that in that video where we said, y'all need to explain to these kids, they're never too young to learn about things about sexual nature and how sexual advances coming towards them. And sometimes it be in the family. A lot of times it be in the family. So y'all need to explain that to these little kids so they'll know. Well, that's not right. That shouldn't be happening. But anyway, back to that. So now this sick man, while he's driving, all he's thinking about is, what I'm gonna do to this young girl. But every now and then his conscience hit him and he go, man, I got daughters her age.
I got 2 daughters her age.
And if somebody was to try to mess with my daughters, I'll be ready to kill him. Man, I need to cut this out. So his conscience messed with him every now and then.
Yeah, he was actually fighting with himself because he said no, because he knows that's not right. But for some people, I mean, it's just, he's sick-minded.
So anyway, he takes her, he gets the burger and a pie and all that. When he brings it back in the car, she sleep and she's so warm with the heat. And then next thing you know, when he put the food on her lap, she gulped it up like a vulture.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, now he was mad at her mother, whoever her mother was. He's like, look at the way this girl is eating. Man, I wish I knew her mother. I would slap the mess out of her. I'll give her a piece of my 2 cents. Look how this girl is looking so frail and skinny. She act like she never had food in years.
Exactly.
But anyway, So that's that. You know, that's pretty sad. But then, so finally, she goes home, and then another day, she don't want to go to school because her clothes are so messed up, this and that. And she's just standing outside of this building, the liquor store. And the owner of the liquor store tells her, "You want to come in and sweep up?" He gives her a job. Mm-hmm. And when it's time to pay her, instead of paying her, she'd rather just take little things of food. Right. Like she'd take cake, some Spam, this and that, and she takes it home. And what I thought was so sad about that is like, this little girl didn't want money, she wanted food. But when she would take it home, as soon as she get in the house, the mother would be like, "Oh, girl, give me that. Oh, I'm hungry."
Yeah, like, who is she?
And she like, "But Mom, it's mine." It's like, wow, you ain't got no food in the house for this little girl. When she do come home with something, you the adult, you snatch it from her.
But at the same time, she was actually accusing her daughter of stealing.
Yeah.
You imagine that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But anyway, but she didn't care. But the thing is that she would do anything to refuse to go to school either.
Yes.
And she never told her mother that she wasn't going to school, because if her mother find out that she wasn't going to school,
exactly,
she would get a beat down.
So she was working in that liquor store, and then she would go to department stores and steal clothes. Because now she was starting to have the guy was giving her a little money at the liquor store and some food. Right. And then she started to have a little bit of money. He even took her to go get a bank account.
Right, isn't that nice?
He was like that father figure to her.
Yeah, he opened up the account with $5.
Yeah.
That was too much.
That was a big deal for her.
Yeah. And he said, now your mother don't have to touch your account.
Exactly.
It's all yours.
So now she was going to school because she had nice clothes that she stole or bought, and now she had some food and all that. So it just so happens one day, come home from school, the cops was chasing this other car that they had drugs. Oh, yeah. And as the car was driving by, it drove right by her. The guy reached out the window and he threw the drugs. Yeah. It was a big bag of drugs with a bunch of balloons in it that had dope in it.
Well, it was a box.
Yeah.
And she didn't know what it was in that box. But all she could think about, I can't wait to go and grab that box.
Exactly. So now she get home, she open up. Even though it's drugs, she don't know what the drugs is. But now she got her mind is working. So she go, I know what I'm gonna do. The next day I get to school, it's a kid in the school named Chink. I'm going to give it to Chink. I'm going to ask him. But Chink, turns out, all the girls thought he was the most ugliest kid in the school.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Bobby, but don't forget. Yeah. Before she even brought that and told Chink about it, she had a friend.
Oh, thank you. Damn, you're right.
Friend. His name was Eddie.
Eddie, there you go.
His name was Eddie.
Yeah, that's right. Good.
And she knows that he does
drugs.
But when she found out they were balloons, he said, "No, I don't do drugs, but I can actually have somebody help me out." And it was Eddie. Yeah, because what she said, she didn't quite know what she had, the potency of it. So she knew this dude, Eddie, he was like her kind of boyfriend, not really. He was an older guy. He was just using her. Every payday, he would get money for her to get drugs. Right. Which was a weird relationship. But it's because she used to do her favor by what? Giving her a ride?
A ride, yeah. Yeah. So on this particular day, he came by and she's like, "Look, Eddie, I ain't got no money for you. You only come by when I get paid. This and that." Right. And he's like, "Girl, come on, you gonna help me get my fix or what?" And then that's when she said, "I tell you what, I ain't got no money for you, but I got some dope for you if you want it." And he laughed at her like, "What you know about some dope?" She said, "I found it the other day, but if you don't want it, don't worry about it." So then he said, no. He in the door. He said, "I want to see." So he goes to the house. Her whole plan was to give it to him. And then when she see how he act, when he use it, she'll know if it's good or not. And sure enough, they go to the house and he uses the dope. And when he uses the dope right in front of her, immediately after sticking the needle in whatever, his head fell to his chest. And he was in a nod. And when she lifted his head up, his eyes was in the back of his head.
Yeah,
like he
she was
dead.
Nervous though, because like she never seen anything
and she
like
slapped
it.
him and slapped him and slapped him and slapped him. Said, wake up, because you was scared. But then finally when he came to, he's like, "Whoo, that's some good stuff, girl. Where you get that from? You got any more?" But right there, she said, "Nah, I ain't got no more." But she knew I got some good stuff. It was pure. Right. It was pure dope or whatever, heroin, whatever it was. So now she knew. And then all he was thinking about, I got to get away from her. Because she was like, "Give me half of that back." And he was like, "No, I got to go. So now when she went to school, like I said, the guy Chink. All the kids thought, especially the girls, they was like, he's the most ugliest guy in school. But he was a well-sharp dude. People was afraid of him. He was a fighter. Yeah. He's a drug dealer. So she approached Chink in school. She said, "Look, Chink, when she approached him, Chink was a real shy guy too.
Yeah, he was always with his head down.
Yeah.
But he was, she really got a chance to be his friend.
Because I like that what Chink said too. He said, out of all the girls, Sandra, that's the name of the girl, little black girl lost. Yeah. She always showed him respect.
Yeah.
Although all the other girls looked at him with grotesque, she always said hi. She always acknowledged him. Even when she was with other girls, she still stopped to say hi to him, and he noticed that. Mm-hmm. I like that.
But you remember, she used to get this almost the same treatment as Chink, because remember, when everybody in the school, they thought she was slow.
And they said she was bummy with her clothes.
She was very smart.
And he noticed that, you're right.
And noticed that. So it's a combination.
So when she approached Chink now, she says, hey, listen. And, he was looking at the ground all shy. Like, she said, no, look up to me when I'm talking to you. She's like, listen, look, I need a favor from you. Right away, Chink was like, girl, I know you ain't using no drugs, because that's all he do. Right. What would you want with me? So she said, look, meet me after school. I got a business proposition. Mm-hmm. So he was like, look, I like this girl, and I'm not giving her no drugs. So to make long story short, they met up after school, and he was all happy, because he was like, some girl showing me attention. And when she was talking to him, once again, he was shying away from her, because he knew how most people looked at him, like he was ugly. But I like how she gave him confidence. Right. Where she said, I'm going to give y'all 2 words of the day. This one here is going to be solace. If you look up the word solace, it means to give someone comfort when they're dealing with grief. Mm-hmm. Like when somebody's dealing with some type of pain or grief or misfortune, you give them comfort. Right. See, he was always dealing with the miscomfort of people treating him like, oh, he's so ugly. But she gave him comfort. Yeah. So when she was talking to him and he was doing all that shy stuff, she said, look up, look at me in my eyes. And even though she was a young girl, because now she's like a teenager, right? She's like 14 or something.
She was 13.
Okay. And he was like 16 or 17.
Yeah, he was 16 years old.
So now, even though she was only 13, it made her feel powerful, that power that a woman could have over a man, because she told him, look up, look at me when I'm talking to you. She said, you need to stop doing that. I notice anytime a woman or a female talk to you, you get shy, or a person. She said, listen, you need to know how great you are. Look at me when I'm talking to you. And I don't ever want to see you looking down again, this and that. And he was like, wow, she actually talking to me.
But he also acted that way partly because he realized even teachers were looking at him some kind of way.
But Sandra treated him with such a great solace.
Yeah, it did. And it was a good thing. Yeah. They were meant for each other. Yes. And I look at this book as Romeo and Juliet.
That's a good analogy.
Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. It's such a romance, and it's like they're inseparable after that.
So anyway, they go to the house, and then she tells Chink her whole story, her plan and all this, and she gives him all of the dope that she has. Right. And sure enough, he sells it all, and the next day he brings her all the money. Every day they walk into school now, they like a unit. Yeah. And when he brings her the money the next day, he gives her all the money, and she go, what are you doing? And he go, well, this your money from me. She go, no, we partners. This is half yours and half mine. So at that point, they were boyfriend and girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Now they come to school every day with the best clothes, this and that. Next thing you know, they got an apartment together.
Yeah.
Now they was roommates and all this. Now they went out, got a fancy car, a nice apartment. And even school teachers and all that, they was noticing how high class they was dressing. And the word got around that he's a big time drug dealer. Mm. And now on this particular day, while they at school, he go, yo, Sandra, I gotta go back to the apartment to get some more drugs. And when I'm skipping a part. When they was at her place, how about that? That was messed up. When the mother came home and seen him in the house, how disrespectful. You remember that whole thing?
Yeah, the thing was that the mother said, I could call the cops on you by messing with a young girl. Mm-hmm. But he didn't want her no trouble at all. But I like
Sandra checked her own mother. She said, look, we the one that pay the damn rent around here. You ain't gonna call nobody. Or otherwise that rent won't get paid no more.
Right.
And then that's when he said, I paid your rent for the next 2 or 3 months, and he got extra couple of money he gave her.
Well, that changed her.
That changed her real quick.
Like they say, money talks.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying. So now on this particular day, he tells Sandra, you gotta go back to the apartment to get some more drugs. So he leaves the school. He said, you wanna come with me? She goes, nah, I'm gonna stay here. So when he goes home, somebody had already called the cops. Mm. And when he was coming back to the school, the cops stopped him. Yeah. At the school, on the school grounds, and arrested him, but he got in a big fight with him and beat one of the cops up or two, whatever. They couldn't control.
But you know that now that you're talking about beating the cops and all that, remember when what's his name, Jerry, the guy that was always helping Sandra, the driver, the one we just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
When he was trying to come up to Sandra, he literally
the cop
grabbed her. No, the guy that was giving her a ride and all that. He was always asking for more drugs and stuff
Eddie.
like that. Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he grabbed her and Chink didn't like that.
Oh yeah, he beat her. See, I'm messing up. I'm glad I got you here.
Yeah, he grabbed her and he didn't like that. Like,
yeah, because she said, "I ain't giving you no more money, no drugs or nothing."
I'm tired of taking care of you.
And he slapped her and beat the mess out of her. And just so happens, Chink came up from behind and beat the mess out of that joker. And you got a lot of men out there that's like that. They quick to beat on a woman or a girl, but they will never touch a man of their equal caliber or bigger. See, these are the type of cats where that's going to be the second word of the day, acrimonious. These are the type of people that rub you the wrong way, that make you real angry. You know, a person that really, every time you get around, you like, man, you're a soft joker. You just beat on women. Exactly. You don't step to no man. You know, that's what you call acrimony. You know, when you be like, man, I don't like being around that joker. He kind of rubbed me the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Sandra cut him off. He was just tired of him.
After the old boy beat the mess out of him.
Eddie, you got to go.
So anyway, so now he gets locked up. And Sandra comes out, she see all this, and now she gets in the fight with the cops too. Like, get off him, this and that. And then they call her, you black bitch, this and that, and all this. And she puts up a fight too, because the one cop got smart with her and go, you know, good black bitch. She kicked him in the balls. But now they both get locked up, but obviously her time is real short. So he's in jail. Yeah. While he's in jail, this is where the story gets even more intense. So while he's in jail at detention center, whatever, he got to be there until he's 18. Because he's like 16, 17? So maybe a year and a half. So while he's in jail, remember the apartment that they had, they too young to get an apartment. So they got two junkies. Right. Two junkies to get the apartment in their name. So that's the part I left out. So I had to mention that. So now while Chink is in jail, like I said, this really gets more intense. While he's in jail, those two junkies, George and Betty, am I right? Right. George and Betty, they know Chink locked up. Because Chink told them, don't you ever come to my place trying to buy some damn drugs. And they never came. They tried it at one time, but they was scared of Chink. So now they know he locked up. They know Sandra there by herself. So George and Betty comes by and asks her for some drugs, this and that, or some money. She's like, look, I ain't got no money, but she's stupid. She let them in. And once again, like I said, the word of the day, acrimonious. From the moment they came in, they rubbed her wrong. Remember, acrimonious mean when you rub somebody the wrong way. You get that feeling like, yeah. From the moment they showed up, she felt a very acrimonious way towards them. Like, y'all don't like that. Y'all never came here before. Now that Chink locked up, y'all gonna try me like that? So she made the big mistake of being that she's running low on money and she still had a lot of drugs. She told them, she said, okay, I'll tell you what. I just got a few bags of the dope, heroin, whatever. She said, how about I give it to you guys and y'all sell it and bring me back half the profit? And then they was all like, well, why don't you give us all the drugs? And this and that. And that's where she messed up. She should have never dealt with them in the first place.
But that's what it is. She was young and naive. She didn't really have the
guidance.
The guidance, exactly.
Or maturity.
Yeah. I would think that Chink would have actually said anything to her saying, look, this is the deal. This is what you're going to do.
So anyway, so now she tested them, gives them the drugs, and what do? They go get high with the drug. They had no intention of paying her back. But what happens the next day? George comes back, and he's knocking on the door. And when she sees him through the people, she opens the door, and when she opens the door, two other guys bust in. They was hiding behind on the side of the wall. Yeah. These other two, Tree and Fred, right? Was it Fred? Yeah. Tree and Fred, they bust in. So we could get real intense about this whole thing, but I'm gonna just get right to the nitty gritty. So now they ask her, rid of drugs, rid of money. And she's denying it. And then finally, they slap her around real bad. And they go, bitch, we're gonna kill your ass if you don't give. So finally, she go, okay. I just got $20. And then he said, you know what? I know it's better than $20. He said, I tell you what, we're gonna rape this bitch. So now it's a robbery done turned to rape now. Yeah. So now she go, all right, the drugs, it's in the room, in the closet, in the shoe. and the bottom of one of the shoes in the closet. So they come out with all the drugs. They like, oh, we hit the jackpot. And then now they go, but you know what? It's been a long time since I've been with a young thing. And what do? They beat the mess out of her.
Yeah.
They raped her one by one. And the whole time, George was right there talking about, don't do this, guys, don't do this. But they was like, you shut up, man. It's like, see, he just as guilty. You brought him there.
Exactly.
So they beat her, rob her, rape her, and then they sodomized her too. Like, yo, these were some animals. But she felt it the whole time in a very acrimonious way with George. So he shouldn't have been dealing with him in the first place. So now, after that happened, they finally, when she wake up, because they left. Now it's hours later, and she was knocked out. And now when she wakes up, you know, she's battered, she's bruised, she's robbed. They took the TV and all this other stuff. So now she takes a shower. She washes up, and she know the next day she got to go see Chink.
Yeah.
And she got these bruises all on her face.
And she's thinking twice, should I go and visit him? But she said, I did promise my man. I promised Daddy. That's how she used to call him. Promised Daddy that I would go and see him.
Exactly. So now I like that she washes up and get ready for the next day, even though she's battered and bruised.
And she also said, I'm not changing anything. I'm gonna just go just the way I am, so so Daddy can actually see what they done to me.
Yeah. So now the next day come.
Yeah.
How she prepared that before she went up there?
She went and did was it fried chicken? She did fried chicken, lemon cake.
Now, see, I love that you mentioned that part, because before she went there, like you said, she made him the stuff that she used to make, the fried chicken and lemon pie that she made. And she know he loved.
That he loved.
Now, a lot of guys out there know what I'm talking about. That when I say the word of the day, solace. When a guy's in jail, we can identify when a woman comes to see you and she brings you that solace of that fried chicken. Where remember the word solace, meaning to bring comfort or peace when someone's dealing with grief.
Yeah.
Every man that's been locked up know how it feels. When you're locked up, you're already dealing with nonsense, and your woman come to visit you, and she brings you the fried chicken that you know is her skills. You know, it's her cooking. It ain't something she bought. The moment you bite into it, it's like, this is my woman. This is my woman cooking right here. I know this taste. You know, that's a piece of solace that is brought to any man that you know when you locked up and your woman bring you your woman's cookings. It's just like if you was a Spanish man and your woman brought you some flan. Now, she could buy flan here, there, and he just might say...
If she makes it...
Yeah, he might just be like, thank you, babe. But if she makes it, he'd be like, this is my... Oh, babe!
Yeah, remember...
This is my baby stuff, right?
You know what comes to my mind, Papi? Remember that episode with Martin?
Which one?
About the biscuits.
Mama's biscuits. That's a good point. Like Martin was acting stupid. You like, that's my mama biscuits. And remember the episode when the cooking competition? As soon as Martin tasted the biscuit, he said, "Somebody living foul. These are my mama biscuits."
No, you didn't even have to get closer.
He smelled
it.
Y'all living foul.
Oh no. Somebody got my mama's biscuits.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
And that's why I say any man that's been in prison, you know that it is a solace that comes to your heart when your woman took time to make something personally that you know that's her taste. Like you said, my mama biscuits, Martin on that dumb. Yeah, so that I thought that was cool too, because you need that solace when you're dealing with so much grief in prison, or in his case, detention. So now, but also when he seen her bruise and all that, he was just enraged.
She didn't even have to say anything.
He was just enraged. So then she told him everything that happened. And now after that, he was like, I'm planning an escape. I'm going to kill these mother effers.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he was planning to escape that next day, or that she came to visit or whatever. And then the next time, rather. And then there was another guy, was it Jimmy? Jimmy was locked up with him. And when his lady came to see him, she didn't bring no food, no drinks, or nothing.
No. I'm sorry, Papi, but before all of that, Sandra told everything, just about everything to Chink.
Except about the sodomite.
Didn't tell her about that because
now see, you know what else good? See, I remember them days. See, you can't do that no more. But back in the days, you used to make a care package and send it to prison. They stopped that. Because I remember when my mom's way back in this locked up, we made a care package. You could put all this stuff. You could put cigarettes, the chips, the bologna, the apples, the fruits. This and you put all that stuff in there, and they just check it, and that was good. They don't do that now. They make sure that you got to buy the stuff from the state. So there's no more of that. But you know, this is an old book. You should do that. But yeah, so now old girl didn't bring nothing. They sat with Chink and Sandra was eating their food.
Yeah.
And then he was telling them how he planned to escape. And Jimmy was like, I want to come along. And he's like, nah, man. I ain't bringing nobody along for this. He said, because I'm telling you one thing. I got a mission to do, and I'm not going to let nobody or nothing stop me. Them jokers is dead who did that to my woman. They are dead.
But that's the worst thing that Chink did.
And then, yeah, Jimmy kept begging. And he wound up taking them with him, and it was a disaster. It's like, yo, when they was going through the woods at night, Chink was going this way. This joker, Jimmy, going that way. He said, where's you going? You got to go this way. Yeah. Man, you're going to mess everything up. And sure enough, one of the farmers seen him. And when the farmer seen him, the farmer's like, yeah, what you damn coon niggas doing out here? This late, this night. And pulled the shotgun on him. And right away, Chink rushed him, took the shotgun, blew the guy away.
Even and the dogs.
Yeah, and he killed the dog. And then right away, Jimmy, coward ass, he goes, man, I ain't want no part of this murdering, man. I can't do this. He said, look, I tell you what, why don't you run back to the compound and you ain't got to hear about none of this. And if they ever ask, you just deny it all. As long as you make it back and catch the count, you'll be good. So he ran back like the coward that he was. And Chink went to the highway and met his girl. And that was that. Now they get back to town. And right away, Sandra's like, baby, let's go to the place and I just want to hold you in my hands. He's like, look, I got business to do. Exactly. I mean, I love you, baby, but I got business. They're going to be on to me by the morning. I don't got no time to waste. And right away, he went right to Fred and Betty's house. As soon as he knocked on the door, they was like, who is it? And he's like, oh, I'm over here. Somebody sent me over. He go, Tree sent me over here with a bag of dope and some heroin. He want to know if y'all could test it. Right away, she opened up the door. Right. And she opened up the door. Right away, she seen Chink, and right away, fear just engulfed her, like, or acrimonious way just engulfed her. Remember the word acrimonious, to rub somebody the wrong way, put somebody in an immediate anger mode. So as soon as she seen him, she's like, oh damn. And then he said, "Where your no good man at, Fred and George. Where your no good man, George?" And George came out of the room, and then he pulled his gun out and was like, he's like, yeah. So, yo, you jokers have my lady. He's like, man, I had nothing to do with it, man. I told them to stop doing that the whole time, man. I told them that I didn't do it. I tried to stop him. No, he didn't.
Exactly.
And then he said, yeah, well, you should have did more than that. You shouldn't have been over my place in the first place like I told you. And then all of a sudden, Betty ran her mouth. She said, don't tell this nigga nothing about Tree and Fred. Don't tell him nothing. She said something slick, and he just turned to her and said, what?
Right.
Bow! Put a bullet right in her head.
But and then deserved it.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden Joe's like, oh my God! Oh my God! And he put the gun up and grabbed him by the throat. And with his bare hands, he's like, someone kill you! What you did to my lady. And he choked him with his bare hands just to death. That was anger right there. Like, oh, brute strength.
He was going for revenge.
Yeah. And then from there, he went to Fred's house. And when he knocked on the door where Fred stayed, he told George where they stay at. And he ratted where they all stay. Yeah. See, everybody become a rat. And then, so he told him where he stayed. And now he knocked on that door. Fred's sister answered. And he's like, hey, how you doing? Is Fred? Not Fred, I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, Fred. And he's like, yeah. She said, Fred is in the bedroom. So he's like, yeah, we supposed to go looking at this job today. Got to get his lazy butt up. So he goes in the room. Fred is sound asleep. And Chink goes in there. He's standing over him. How did he kill him?
He killed him with
He cut his throat or he stabbed him?
No, he cut his throat.
Yeah, in his sleep, just cut his throat. Man, that was easy.
That was easy.
So meanwhile, while this is all going on, now all of a sudden, now he done killed Fred. He killed Betty and George. He killed George and Betty, their couple, and Fred. He still got Tree to go. Yeah. So, but now he comes out. And now he meets back up with Sandra. And Sandra's like, babe, let's get a room. I just want to make love to you this and that. And they do that. But while this is going on, we're talking about rats here. Back at the jail compound, the cops come and they find the tracks. They find a dead farmer. They find the dead dogs. And now the dogs track right back to Jimmy's cell.
Yeah.
And he starts singing like a bird.
Mm.
So like you said, he should have never told this Joker nothing from the jump. Or he should have killed Jimmy right then and there too.
Yeah, because
Joker, he ratted everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Like, you son of a... Ooh. Like they say, man, you're going to do a crime, do it by yourself. Because that Joker that you think down with you, that Joker going to rat you out when he get caught. See, this is what suckers do. But anyway, so that's that. He think he going to get a deal. He rat all this stuff. And all the other inmates, they hear him ratting. And he know, oh, they going to get me. So they transfer him. Like, don't nobody like a rat. So now, back to Chink. Now he knows, I got to go get Tree.
Right.
So now after they make love, he kisses her goodbye and she sleep. And he just leaves. And he grabs the gun that she got for him. And he checks it. And remember, he had already shot Betty. So he only got 5 bullets left.
Right, because it only carries 6.
6, yeah. So now, as he checked the bullets to make sure, he sees only 5 bullets. And then she wakes up and he says, man, this is so much like a woman. She didn't even buy no extra bullets or nothing. Right. And then he asks her, she goes, no, baby, that's all I bought was the gun from the guy. It was already bullets in it. He said, you didn't even think to buy more bullets? Like,
but he wasn't really mad at her.
Nah, because he loved her so much.
Gun, yeah. At least he got
so now he finally goes to Treeway. And it almost seemed the same like Fred. He knocks on the door and Tree's sister answers. Because he stayed with his sister too. A lot of these bum dudes do that. A lot of these bum dudes, they live with their sister or they live with some weak woman who allows their bum butts to stay there, opposed to them getting on their own damn feet. They leeches off their sister or their woman. Both of them was like that. So he knocks on, and it seemed just like Fred all of a sudden. His sister answers, Tree's sister answers the door, and he come in, he give her some story about, I gotta see Tree.
He got a job.
Yeah, and she go, oh, he in the room sleep. So he's like, man, it's going to be easy just like it was with Fred. And as soon as she say that, Tree peeps his head out the door of the bedroom. And as soon as he see Chink, he jets back in the bedroom, ran to go get his gun. And he slams the door. And that's when Chink ran to the door, boom, and knocked the door down off his hinges with his shoulder. And by the time he got back up, Tree already had his gun. And pow! And he shot Chink right in the stomach.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, damn.
But that was careless. I mean,
and then he shot again, he missed him.
Yeah.
And then he shot again, and he caught him in his chest. But then by that time, Chink had a determination. It don't matter. Like you said, ain't nothing or no one going to stop me.
Right.
With those 2 bullets.
Yeah, but then after that, in the end, he shot him in the head, right?
He still was able, with being shot twice, he still was able to pull his gun, and he shot Tree, bah, right in the head.
He was so in the mood and all that. He didn't feel anything. He wasn't feeling any pain.
Yeah, because he was determined.
Yeah.
He shot him, boom, so now he down 4 bullets. And then he stood over him and shot him like 2 more times. Boom, boom. So it's like, damn, yo. And now he's all bleeding and he's...
Well, no, he gets in the car.
And all the people in the hallway, they seen him and he didn't even care. He was like, my job is done. That's all I wanted to do.
So I'm going back to my lady. But once he got in the car, he started feeling the side effects.
Passing in and out.
And now he's starting to... But he realized, I gotta get back to my woman.
That's all that was his determination now.
I gotta get back to my woman.
And where she was staying at, here we go again with another rat. It was a caretaker at the place where Sandra used to avoid him because she said, he always gossiping and talking about people.
And you know, in the neighborhood, you always got somebody like that.
Every neighborhood.
Yeah, in every neighborhood.
Just gossiping all the time. So sure enough, she was like, I gotta be here when Chink get back because this nosy caretaker gonna have all our business out there and all this. And he was driving back and kept passing in and out of consciousness, but he made it back. As soon as he made it back, he laid on the horn. Sandra seen the car, and she rushed out. And at the same time, the caretaker came out, and she rushed. He's like, "Babe, you need any help with it?" She's like, "No, I got it." Because your nosy ass coach. But right away, he was like, "Oh my God, I see all that blood. Oh my God, you want me to call the ambulance? Want me to call the police? This and that?" And she's like, "Damn it, why his nosy ass had to come over there?"
But it was obvious that the car seats, it was
covered
full of blood.
Yeah, so she knew she had to get him out of there. She went back to the old apartment because she said, I still got the keys for it. And the rent still paid. And when they got there, it became like a love story.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because he was like, babe, she's like, I got to get you to a doctor. He said, nah, Don't, he said, look, promise me you will never take me to a doctor. Because them damn crackers and Peckerwoods, they'll fix me up to make sure that I'll go back to prison for the rest of my life. And I'm not going to be in prison. He's like, baby, would you take care of me? And I know I'm going to die, but I just want to die in your arms. I just want to be with you.
Yeah.
And that's when she took off all her clothes, took off all his clothes.
But remember, he gave a story when he was a little boy.
How his father
had him walk in the freezing
just because he made a little mistake that a kid would make.
Exactly. Yeah. Father, and he was afraid, so he don't want to go back.
And he was afraid of the cold because he grew up real poor.
Right.
And he was getting cold because he was dying.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's so cold.
But you know what's crazy? He was holding so long.
For her.
For so long to her.
Yeah, so as he was getting cold, he's like, I'm so cold, baby. And so she took off all her clothes, took off his clothes, laid him in bed with all the blood and everything. Mm-hmm. And she was rubbing his body up against, she was rubbing her body up against him. And I remember what he said, baby, I love you so much. You'll make what he said? He said, you'll make a poor man's dream come true. Mm-hmm. He said, here I am dying and you still willing to do all this for me. You know what I mean? And then she was just rubbing on him and this and that. And every now and then, sure enough, he'd go out of consciousness. It seemed like he was dead, but then he'd wake back up. And he kept reminding her, do not take me to the hospital. Do not. They gonna put me in prison forever. Just let me go, babe. I know I'm gonna die. There's no way I can survive. She said, I can get a doctor for you. I can hold a gun to the doctor's head to make it. He said, baby, I know you would if you could, but I love what we got right here. And they just talked for whatever they could without him passing out and all that. You want to add something to that?
Yeah, but the thing, remember, you wonder why, was it a good timing for Sandra to go to jail and see the situation? Because remember when he was going to turn into 18 years old,
he'd have been out.
He would have been out.
But when he see them bruises and she told him they raped and robbed and beat and all, that made him go in a rage.
But see, that's the thing. Like one of the cops would have, if they really care much for what she was doing, they would have advised her. They said, look, man, you sure you want to go into the timing where you want to go into good timing? This is not the time.
That is an excellent point.
Right.
You mean the correction officers?
The correction officers.
I'm glad you said it because that's a great point. Now, what she mean by that? Because I've seen this happen. You have good cops, bad cops. You got cops that don't give a damn just to get a paycheck. Same as for correction officers.
Right.
Now, here's the difference. One correction officer seen her with them bruises, and he think it's funny and just laugh and just go, man, oh man. I know when her man see her, he gonna lose it.
Yeah. And
we're gonna beat his ass if he act out of control. See, that's the jerk off asshole correction officer. Another correction officer would be better than him. He would probably say, ooh, he go, baby, I'm not baby, but he go, ma'am, look, I need to talk to you about this. How did this happen? Because you do know when your man see you like this, he's gonna lose his mind.
Right.
So what was this? Hopefully this was a car accident or whatever. Please tell me. That's enough. But then you may have an even better, he may say, I can't allow you to see your visit today because those bruises is going to drive him crazy.
He's going to go into a rage.
And then you may have another correction officer that may have the same careness that this one had that says, can't see you. Or he might say, I got to counsel you. I got to pull you to the side. I got to know what happened. We need you to speak to maybe our doctor or whoever else. And we got to clear this because what we can see already, this is a caring person about their job and the people, not just get a paycheck. Because these are different levels to this. Mm-hmm. They know by how you look, this is going to change his whole prison term.
Right.
And like I said, the first correction officer, he don't give a damn. He want stuff to go bad. Or as they would say nowadays, people love to jump on the bandwagon. He want the smoke.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy how the way she came about it. It's crazy. It shouldn't be because she knows that when Chink sees her, he's going to go into a rage.
That's what I mean.
He's going to want to go and get those people. Mm-hmm. Now remember,
rightfully so.
If she didn't go and say anything to her to Chink, then who knows if those people come back at her.
Yep.
And
they would have, because that's what a junkie do.
They would take offenses because they know Chink is still in prison.
Yep, and it's not her little frail, skinny self. Yeah. What's she gonna do?
But who knows if she could have got a different type of help or anything like that.
That's a
Don't
tough
you
one.
think?
That's a tough one. Possibly, but she ain't had no family, no
but
friends.
She had the guy at the at the diner.
Oh yeah, the liquor store.
Well, the liquor store. She had him. And
I like
knew
what
that
he even
was a
told
good
the
man.
cops. When the cops went to him for help, ratting him out, he said, "Man, I ain't got nothing to tell y'all. That's a good girl."
Yeah.
And they was like, "What? This guy? He was a good guy to her."
So if she really see for what he was, she would have probably went up to him and told him and seek for some help.
Yeah.
Maybe he would at least give her some type of advice.
Yeah. That's
Like,
a tough.
no, don't go see your man yet. We're gonna take care of this. You know, something like that. But that's the only reason why she went to him, and that's how he came out.
I like, see, my wife was getting all emotional towards the end because, like she said, it was like a Romeo and Juliet.
Though. Oh, definitely.
You're right, because it was like a love story in the end where he was like, "I just want to be with you while I'm dying. There's nothing greater than being with you." And like you said, you make a dying man's wish come true or something like
Exactly.
that.
But she did give him.
Remember?
Oh,
then the cops finally found him.
And now she started shooting.
And then he begged her. He said, "Baby, don't let him take me. Don't let him take me." And then with her last gesture, she took the knife.
She took the knife
and plunged it in his chest.
He said, "Now, baby, you are free."
Wow, that was.
Free. No one's gonna take you.
I didn't see that coming in the book when that happened. I said, "Woo!"
It's almost like you could say that was a beautiful ending.
Yes.
But it was a sad
ending.
And it kind of.
But she gave him his wish.
It kind of makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
Because you love someone, and how do you have the courage to
do that?
Kill him? But
this is what he wants.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's a little emotional because I'm saying that's what love does for you.
Yes.
But if you ask me for anything, Bobby, except killing you, I'll do anything, Bobby.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Love you too.
It's sad that it had to come that way.
Yeah.
And now I wonder how her life is going to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Because then she tried to kill herself and the cops stopped her.
Oh, yes, and they did.
After that. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. And as always, we get more books out to y'all, more positive other stuff that we do too. But leave me a comment. Leave me what you think about it.
Yes.
Anything else?
Yeah.
So on that note, peace.